Well, welcome back everybody to session one officially of Defy the Gods. Fortunately, Kim is not really feeling well today, so we wish them a swift recovery and we'll see them next time. But in the meantime, we are going, now that we've done character creation and built the world, we're going to do something called a world forces scene. And when the world forces scene, you guys get a chance to play one of the world forces and create problems for yourselves, and I just can just sit back and watch it. In this case, we talked off screen, and everybody was excited about playing some of the gods, the Pantheon, who are very upset about your last off-screen adventure, where the three of you, and Kiru probably as well, had stolen an artifact from the Temple of Neti, I think, is how I'm going to frame it. A figurine of a two-headed mermaid from Neti's temple, and it talks in a strange language that threatens the listeners with madness. So they are very eager to either get that back if possible, or at least punish you for your insolence at stealing it. And let me tell you a little bit about the gods, where they live, and then we can set the scene from there. So the sages tell us, though they have been wrong before, that the earth is a flat plain bounded by endless salt sea. The mountains support the world's lapis lazuli ceiling, the sky, so that the upper waters above the ceiling don't drown us all. The pantheon's gods and goddesses dwell even higher than that, above the upper waters, but they're so luminous that we can see them moving across the sky as planets and stars. They open sluice gates in the crystal ceiling to bless us with rain and threaten us with storms. So the pantheon manifest in three planes of existence. The sky is their lowest plane, in which they have set the stars. The other two planes, unknowable, exist above the upper waters. Um, so yeah, they could be there basically. Um, and the pantheons make mortals to toil for them. If we cry out too loudly for relief, they will destroy us as they destroyed Atlantis. But these particular mortals that we focus on today were not made for toil. They are made for mischief, right? So are we thinking that the gods are convening in their sky palace? Or are we seeing the scene set in one of their mortal temples and they're kind of projecting themselves as avatars to these followers? Or somewhere else?
I had an idea, which was maybe, but yeah, feel free to shoot it down if we want to do some mortal shenanigans.
Mhm.
Maybe above the lapis lazuli raiment, there is something like a lighthouse, but it's like projecting down out of this mysterious void above.
Oh, I like
Maybe
that
this is
because
like the North Star or
yeah,
something like this.
we established that the city has like a weird projection of itself in the waters, right? So yeah, like there's the celestial sky lighthouse pointing down towards the actual lighthouse temple of Nintu, and maybe the projection is seen in the center or something like that.
Yeah, so some kind of, divine reflection, or maybe like the city is
Hmm.
built as a reflection of what we've been told the gods' abode is like.
And
And I
so,
think we'll go
yeah,
ahead.
that reflection is dynamic. It's a form of communication almost. Is that kind of, or is it?
Um, I guess the idea maybe is that this is if I say it's a North Star, then maybe it's like helping
Hmm.
humanity to guide themselves, and that's like both literally for navigation, but also like they are leading us because we are their people or something like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
I like that it can project communication though, or images. Like maybe the gods are watching scenes of your recent adventure and frustration and anger. maybe we'll do a little montage of what happened. Like, what do we see for each of your characters who were involved in this theft from the Temple of Neti?
Just a quick question.
Hmm.
Just a reminder, the reflection is in the sky of
Hmm.
the city? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All right, cool.
Um, does anyone have an idea for their character?
Hmm, let's see. Bardum, I don't imagine that Bardum would have initiated this particular adventure. Um, that being said, once sort of pulled into it, I think they would be fully on board for some shenanigans.
It could
So,
just be like a little snippet, like a previously on, like if we see someone fighting a giant serpent or
oh,
something.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, let's see. So Bardum has actually split off and gone around to the backside of the
Mhm.
Temple of Neti, um, in a with the purpose of securing that entrance to make sure that they're not going to be interrupted
Mhm.
by any sort of um yeah, interrupted. And so Bardum, kind of slinks around the side of the temple and you know peeks around there and then it goes through the door and suddenly there's like a thud as if one of the pillars or some piece of it had fallen. There's no sign of anything having fallen, but around Bardum, just in that, not fully beyond their personal space, but there's like a haze of dust. Again, as if something had fallen, something of the structure of the temple itself. And Bardum kind of shakes it off. What was that? And a little on edge, uh, but continues on all the same. And um, perhaps is not perhaps is moving a bit too quickly
Mhm.
and fails to notice um, a how do you say it? The level of the floor shifts ever
Mhm.
so slightly, just enough to trip Verdum, right? Um, and so he trips, tries to catch himself, and she just like flat just wipes out. The staff goes sliding across the cold stone floor, uh, and only now does Bardum realize that they should have seen the others as soon as they rounded the sort of like corner of the temple or whatever, and it's dead silent. There's no one there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
So what happened, y'all? Why didn't Bartram see you?
I mean, I imagine Lunazal is just, so stealthy. But I think maybe at this point in time, maybe we see what happened to Antaka. You know, they were standing watch or just guarding the entrance while, wiser, stealthier, smarter people did their
Mhm.
thing. And we see this giant creature, like a sea creature, kind of, or maybe like amphibious,
Mhm.
come down and like this giant net wraps Antaka up, and it's, you know, as strong as bronze, and it
Mhm.
has these hooks or barbs in it, and like this thing is pulling Antaka up to a ledge. Um, you know, for who knows what.
Hmm.
And I think maybe, Antaka makes a quip like, thanks for the lift, and then, his blade flashes out um to strike down this monster. But, he's stuck up in this ledge when he should be looking out for y'all.
I know previously I'd stolen something for Bardoom, the clay tablet.
Hmm.
I don't remember if we specified where that was from,
From the
but
archives, I think.
Yeah.
okay. All right. So maybe it was just from there, like where I'd eavesdropped on archivist talking, and that's how we found out about this object in Nettie's temple.
Hmm.
Uh, but in the temple itself, I think um, Lunazal Moonlark has come upon like a circular pool. It's filled with seawater, and knowing Nettie, if there's anything of value, it would be hidden in there. So I have already jumped in and found a hidden kind of door and swum through, assuming that my compatriots have been following me, but I have not looked back. And that leads to that little chamber where um, there's a little shrine, and
Hmm.
the two-headed mermaid figurine is there, and I snatch it.
Awesome. So again, the gods are assembled together, looking down and watching all of this, just the same way that you were staring into that pool before you dived in. And maybe it even ripples as they're watching this projection. And they are there, even though the gods all hate and distrust each other, they know that they cannot permit this violation of their sacred places and this insult to their authority. So the question that they have to answer is again, what are we going to do about this? Either how do we recover this object, or how do we punish these interlopers? But instead of me playing that out, it's actually going to fall to the three of you, and we're going to do a world scene. So a world scene is an interlude in which the players flip the script and briefly play the antagonist. It foreshadows what the world has in store for the adventurers, allowing the players to signal to the GM what challenges they want to encounter. So we already picked the world force that we want to narrate and what question we want to answer. Based on the question, we are, good. We're framing this scene together, and each of you are going to play a character related to the world force. So in this case, it makes sense to each choose a member of the pantheon to portray. But if you would rather be one of their followers, or their heralds, demons, creatures, or whatever, you can as well. And then I might occasionally interject with questions or other side characters and stuff. So, looking at the list of gods, is there anyone that really uh, speaks out to any of you?
I'm happy to play Ishag. Um, and if you need me to do something else in addition to that, just let me know.
Okay.
I think I'd said probably Ishkur or Nintu look kind of interesting to me. But yeah, I guess Nettie, given that we stole the statue from them, also makes sense. That would be
They don't
fine.
necessarily have to be here. In fact, the
Yeah.
rest of you could be like, this fool isn't even present, to discuss the theft from their own temple. It depends on how you feel.
Yeah.
Or the question could even be like, how can we take advantage of their weakness or whatever, if that's more interesting to a lot of you. But it should involve the player characters in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea that this is a a subgroup within the pantheon that's kind of like a cabal or whatever, like
Hmm.
plotting against the other deities or in a loose alliance.
Hmm.
So, uh, I'm just trying to think who would be conspiring in that group. I mean, any one of them, but
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm sure they all are conspiring at all times,
Yeah.
or one way or another.
Yeah, I feel like they're constantly plotting against each other and forming different alliances and betraying each other. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Ishkor looks interesting, but also, yeah, yeah, Nishka looks interesting. Shadows.
That's
Yeah,
from when
sure.
you pick too many interesting gods, you know?
Mm.
Into is cool.
And some of the others can be like in the background or whatever, but there's three who are like the central figures.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do Nintu.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's okay. Yeah, depth, water surface, boundaries, and gates.
All right. So we have Nintu and who are the others?
Ishag.
Chuck. Okay.
And I think Ishkur.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Is this taking place in someone's particular domain? Because each of the gods has one, or is there like a communal space? Because if it's a secret meeting, then maybe it's like in, Eshug's realm, because that's all about trickery and hidden danger and stuff. Or if the gods are so mistrustful from each other, it could be like a neutral chaos space.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm fine with any of those. So let's just say it's Eshog's
Hmm.
palace, divine palace. I don't know.
What do we think Eshug's palace lair looks like? I do imagine there's like tiny skittering creatures like everywhere,
All
and
over the
just the
place.
set. Even if you can't see them, you can hear them,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah,
Skitter, skitter, skitter. Yep.
and maybe creepy music filtering through.
And some ambiance with the
Hmm.
lighting.
Yeah.
Like it's in the sky, above the sky, way above the sky,
Hmm.
but it still has cave vibes, if that makes any kind of sense.
It
Celestial cave.
exactly. It definitely does. So what do these three gods look like, do we think?
Eshog is slender, wiry. Um, I'm kind of playing on the Anansi kind of concept
Hmm.
for that. Yeah. It is just very lanky, long, long legs, long arms, long fingers.
Hmm.
Um, and has uh a lot of shiny, should we call it jewelry? Adornments, let's say, that tinkle, right? Little shells that tinkle on the ears and
I
just
love
lots of
that.
tinkling things. And isn't really wearing a whole lot, to be honest. But what you are wearing, since yours is
Hmm.
Ashok's pronouns, um, is kind of like a gauzy mesh kind of um tank, or not tank, like tunic, but
Hmm.
like short sleeve tunic, yeah. Uh, and other sort of draperies. Yes, flowy draperies of various different hues. Um, and he has, or you have some sort of instrument. It's, hmm, it's kind of a curved, flat device that's sort of strapped and it hangs across Eshog's chest, and sort of you just sort of lightly stroke it, and there's this, you know, music that tinkles out. Except it doesn't come from here; it actually comes from around.
That's cool.
Surround sound. Yeah. All right, that's Eshog for now.
Love it.
I think Ishkur um, wears like this heavy traveling cloak. Maybe it has a hood, but it's not up right now. And I think poking out from the bottom of this cloak, a pair of sandals that look like I don't know, too light and too stylish to go far,
Mm.
like I don't know, they're beach flip-flops or whatever. They're not, they're not real traveling sandals. Um, and I think I had an idea which kind of meshes with what we have had for Eshag, which is like this kind of breeze seems to flow whenever Ishkur is around, and it like gives off this wind chiminess,
Hmm.
right? Um, and I think, the wind is always at her back, it's never causing her any kind of discomfort or whatever. It's always like
Mm.
pushing her in the right direction.
Love that too.
I think, let's see. Yeah, I think Nintu is like a bloated figure. Um, and they have they wear like a blue armor, but the surface of it is wrinkling, not rippling
Hmm.
like water. Yeah, so like this weird blue metal. Um, and behind there they wear like, like a cloak, but it's made out of the souls of the dead. There's like this misty, it's almost like a misty waterfall coming from their back. And the souls like moan softly in torment. And every now and then, I reach back and I grab, this misty soul and devour it as we speak.
What terrifying and cool gods. Dude, this is great.
I love it.
All right, so plot away. Like what's the plan here?
Okay, well, here's what I'm thinking. So you all are at Ashog's, or spot, right? So you know where you are, but you walk in and you're gonna see Nettie. Now you are used to Eshog's shenanigans, so you know full well this is not Nettie. Um, but Eshog has chosen to present as if uh you are Nettie. Why? Because I don't know, it's kind of a, what do you want to say? A performance,
Hmm.
a comment about Nettie in performance style.
I will note that Nintu and Ishkur both have temples within the city of Baragusum, and Eshek doesn't, but Neti does. So
Hmm.
this could be a little power play here.
Oh yeah, there we go. So anyway, yeah, Eshog is kind of like, well, no, excuse me, Nettie,
Yeah.
Eshog as Nettie, is
Yeah.
sort of strutting about. making just with a this wavy cloak, um and stomping around and saying, we need to get back my precious mermaids, you know, I don't know, what is it? Is it a statue?
Figurine, but statue figurine, whatever.
Yes. We need to get it back. We need to get it back right away. We cannot stand for this nonsense.
Well, we most assuredly will not stand for it. But commiserations on having your temple violated by mortals
Oh, please. As if you care.
must be so dispiriting.
Speak not to me of spirits, Ishkur, you and your airy ways.
You've uh, you've not told us, Nettie, what exactly the figurine uh does. Why you hold it in such value?
That is a good question. I'm so glad you asked that. And Nettie, uh, who is not Nettie, turns back into this is Eshog now. Um, and Eshog is like, yes, that's exactly what I want to know. Nettie doesn't tell us anything, and yet somehow we're supposed to care when this watery creature gets wandered off. Who cares? What matter is it of ours?
Well, if we were to claim the figurine, then Nettie must deliver some real knowledge of its importance and power to us, or else why would we bother giving it back?
I like the way you think, Ishkur. I personally have trinkets that wander off on a regular basis.
So is the plan to like send your acolytes to recover this artifact, but not for Nenny's benefit, but to like hold it for ransom?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Nintu, you are awfully quiet. Speak up.
Perhaps we can make a game of this. We each send one of ours
You know I like a
to
game.
retrieve one of our trusted employees to retrieve the figurine, whoever gets it first.
Mm,
Well, we will have bragging rights, but of course we will share as we have agreed.
yes, yes, yes.
And two, you poor thing, you have employees, I have worshippers.
The shade.
Please.
Unfortunately, I ate all my worshippers, so perhaps I will borrow some of yours someday.
Well, everyone ends up in your sweet embrace sooner or later if they are mortal. Don't
But
be
my
greedy.
embrace, my embrace, my stomach, all the same.
Yes, we know you like to eat.
Well, I think we've answered the question then. There's going to be at minimum three champions of the gods who are going to race to try and recover this artifact in various ways, which will be potentially bad for our adventurers. But they're heroes. They'll overcome for sure. So the
Yes,
scene kind of like
I-
fades. Or did you want to add one more thing? Or
I was just gonna say, especially that sneaky Bardum.
kind of ironic that you say that because we're going to open with Bardoom. So somewhere within the city of Baragusum, the nest of the serpent, um, people who live there say that it is the greatest city on the plains that was built by mortals. But of course, every city says that. But it may be close to the truth. As we have established it, it lies on the coast, bordering on a reflection of itself, flickering with mirrored water surface. Um, and one thing that is very notable about the part of the city that you all frequent is that there are a series of natural hot springs that the locals refer to as the Serpent's Breath.
Mm.
And um, their better ones are for the wealthy nobles are higher up in the city, which kind of goes uphill from the coast. But you all make do with one that you are very fond of, which is nearer to the shores. And inside the Serpent's Breath, there are people, servants, carrying around unfiltered beer. There are people engaging in games of chance like dice and wrestling as well. But the main draw is, of course, the warm and calming waters that shimmer with a similar luminosity to the scales of the serpent. And I think within one of these baths, we see Bardoom relaxing after the recent adventure. Probably still in a little bit of soreness and pain from where the roof nearly collapsed upon them. But you have gotten a little bit of you know, one of the servants probably came around and gave you a massage because you actually have some monies for a change. So some shells exchanged hands. And you're very relaxed. You're probably so relaxed that you start to drift off. And we see you kind of closing your eyes and laying back. And you would be so relaxed that you would just drift into sleep. But you hear the familiar whisper of a here. Pardon. Pardon.
What? Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, I'm awake. I'm awake. What? What is it?
And the mist kind of drifts up from the waters. One of the servants had poured in some extra hot water, so it's very steamy. And within this mist, you start to see shapes um, from the ethereal plane of forgotten stories.
Hmm.
And it's a little annoying sometimes. Like a here doesn't come to you directly and say, "This is what I want you to do." They talk to you through parables and stories, right? So the mist starts to take shapes, like different figures. Once there were three heroes, and there's like figures that look like the three of you, who time and again challenged the gods with their bravery and their arrogance. That's not the word that I would use, but it is the word that I heard. Because they see you making a face,
Bit rude.
Yeah. So the voiceover kind of continues. Unfortunately, unknown to them, they were seen by the Pantheon, and other figures form like overhead in the mist, watching down. The Pantheon chose to send three of their greatest servants to recover what was stolen. And we see one figure that seems to be like made of air with like airy robes trailing off behind them, holding a curved dagger. And we see another figure that looks to be like a guardswoman who is pursuing after the three heroes reluctantly. And then finally, we see what is difficult to make out, but appears to be a group of skittering creatures, like a kind of mass swirling around. If only the heroes knew they could prevent this fell fate from occurring to themselves. But who would be wise enough, kind enough to inform them of this fate? And it just kind of hangs there.
Oh, you're asking me?
Thank you might be nice.
What's it to do with me? I didn't take the figurine. It's not my problem.
Regardless of whether you wish it to be your problem, servant, as long as your companion continues to hold the idol, the problem shall be yours soon
All right,
enough.
my lord, on here. I am sorry. Ah, I shall tell them. I shall do it with haste.
And the mist starts to like part and separate, and you come back into consciousness.
Oof. Oof.
Now, I imagine that Antaka is somewhere nearby, being your bodyguard. What do we think they're up to?
I mean, I think I'm sitting in the bath, head back, lying on the side of the
Hmm.
bath, and for all intents and purposes, asleep. Maybe I'm actually snoring.
Yeah.
You know, I think you see my armor and maybe the sword hanging off a hook
Hmm.
Mm.
around the corner. So yeah, I think it's bodyguard, really? I mean, sure.
Hmm. I mean, we did establish that in the relationship questions, I think.
Yeah, but not acting like it right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You
I
know,
get you.
who would attack us in the serpent's breath, right? I'm
Right.
not forewarned by any nice god.
Hmm. I mean, normally you all are very, very safe here. You know, like the fact that you feel comfortable hanging your Atlantean sword
Mhm.
steps away from you is because, no one has threatened you previously. But all of a sudden the energy just seems like a little bit more uh well, never mind. I don't want to give too much away. But what do you say, Bard?
Oh, well, I grab my staff, swirl it around, stamp it, and then tinkle, like poke at the armor
Hmm.
uh, to the side of you, hoping to wake you up. And when it doesn't wake you up, does it? I'm
I
assuming.
mean, do you think that like you poke it and the noise doesn't wake me up, and you poke it harder and it just falls off the hook on my head?
Great. Fantastic.
That
Get
wakes me
up.
up. So yeah, I kind of submerge and then come out spluttering, and I think somehow the sword is kind of in my hand already.
Of
You
course
Mhm.
it
know,
is.
Yeah.
um,
Uh, yeah, there's no time for leisure, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I have seen a vision. The gods are angry and they've sent three champions after us. One
angry. What?
angry.
Why would they be angry at me? I didn't steal anything.
This is what I said. But listen, we were all there. We must go and find Moonlark.
Yeah, Lunazal is notably nowhere to be seen,
Of
though Moonlark, yes, of course, right when you need them to be here. Um, but they come and go as they please.
Um, I think in the amicable divorce, I got this serpent's breath. Lunazal got the got the high end one.
Yeah, makes sense.
well, we need to go find Lunazal like with a quickness because obviously, sure, we may not have been the culprits, but you know, they're gonna be looking for all of us.
Hmm.
You know that the gods are not. Hmm. never mind. I don't need to finish that sentence. You know what I mean.
So
I'll
and
tempt
talk.
fate by saying they're idiots. That's what they are.
I
So
was
so
feeling like more they hold a grudge.
hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We hope they
Antaka,
stand good champions now.
Yeah,
yeah, just keep tempting fate.
yeah, yeah.
And Taka, you were a former guard at one point in your life before the upheaval happened. So even though you're still kind of groggy, and like you seem like you're a little out of it, your instincts start to kick in. Um, Something about the people in this room, it doesn't seem right. Like that their just general vibe is off. And I want you to make your on watch move.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
I wonder if, the things that normal, like there's a bunch of, kind of um troublemakers, let's call us this, unusual people like us there. And usually they're kind of sitting gossiping, but now they're kind of, they have their towels or whatever and they're kind of
Hmm.
moving away, right? They're like, oh, let's go over to the East Pool. I
Yeah.
have a feeling that maybe they just have this other sense. Maybe they've been warned
Hmm.
that there will be some kind of attack. And yeah, I guess
I like
bathing
that.
out, I guess, is something close to Antaka's heart.
Okay. So
Um,
Unwatch says, when you think others are paying attention to the wrong things, describe what you see an enemy doing or about to do. Yeah, there's people moving away. Then invoke an epithet and roll. So the way that rolls work in this game, you pick one of your epithets that seem appropriate and describe, how it is, and then you roll 2d6 plus or minus it.
yeah. Um, Given my kind of tempting fate or, let them send their best, I think who kneels to no one is kind
Hmm.
of where
Mm,
Antaka
mhm.
is at with right now.
Yep.
And I need a dice roll.
I put
Is
the if you look on safety
oh,
tools under dice roller, I put
ah,
witch dice, but you can also, if you want to use physical dice or your own dice roller, that's fine too.
no, no, that's perfect. I love witch dice.
Okay.
So 2d6 plus 1. Okay. Let me roll. That is a 7. Squeaking
Okay,
through.
so in a seven, and Defy the Gods, that's actually a miss. So you can keep that
Uh,
miss and take an XP, or Bardoom, you do you have a heart over Antaka?
I do. I believe.
Okay,
Yes, I
you could.
definitely do. I have two,
It's
so I can give one.
Yeah, you could give one to them. So I will describe what would have happened, and then you can tell me how you help at the last second.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's maybe it's behind Antaka, but you're facing them, and you see some shadows moving. And as the shadows move very carefully and cautiously, there's a shadow on the wall of someone raising a curved dagger, and they're like about to bring it down on Antaka. And as they do, like things like clay pots and stuff that were on the wall start to like shake as if there was like a gust of wind accompanied by the movement of the arm. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you say or something to
I'm facing Antaka and this
yeah, from behind them a figure looks like
champion
they're
is
about to
behind.
like yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I mean I would grab uh Antaka by the I don't know, or have you put your armor back on? So yeah, just tug you
I think
backward.
I'm putting my wet, kind of soggy armor back on, right?
Hmm.
And I'm maybe grumbling a little bit. That's why I don't hear this assassin from behind me.
Behind you. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I probably would shout behind you and pull, try to get you
Yeah.
to come closer to me, while also, you know,
So yeah, I
holding
think as
my
you pull,
staff.
like the dagger like clinks into the dirt and stone behind you, and the assassin, like is really frustrated and takes a second longer to recover. So because that makes it an 8, it does say that Antaki, you catch someone in the act, interrupt them, and make a competent rebuttal. And because of what you catch as danger, you're going to roll +1 to respond. So how do you catch this? How do you retort to this assassination
Yeah,
attempt?
I mean, I think, dare I simplify things with violence? Uh, I mean, the sheath of the sword comes out, and it's like, oh my,
Mhm.
this is too big. Probably even too big to comfortably use in a corridor. But it's a good job we're in the kind of
Yeah.
open bath, and it just flashes behind me. I don't even look to catch them step into it, right?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you see them like cut and stagger back, breathing heavily, they come more into view now. Like the light has shifted, and it does seem to be this robed figure, wearing an amulet of Ishgurk,
Mm.
and like one of those pointy hats. And this seems to be one of their acolytes, and they scream like, "Death to the enemies of the gods! Return what you have stolen!" But before we get too further into that, I want to see what Lunazal is up to. So, meanwhile, outside of the baths, there is the main like market square of the city. And it is actually split level, right? Which is very unusual for market squares. But there is a very much there's a reason for this. So the lower part of the market is where all of the commoners and poor people go to buy goods and services. It constantly stinks of like fish because it's near the gate to the docks. And people bring in their hauls and like big wicker and clay baskets and stuff. And there's a lot of shouting and a confluence of people and of all manners of life making their way through. But there's steps on either side that lead up to the upper market, and the upper market is where all of like the wealthy nobles of the city shop for their shells and artifacts recovered from the Atlantean ruins, and like perfumes and stuff. And one of these larger tents, there are like a half dozen figures. Um, uh, Four of whom are servants who are just like carrying this litter. And one of them is a noble, and this is Adamu, um, the wealthy noble who is the patron of Unazal. And Adamu is a very refined figure. They wear like they paint their face and they have all sorts of like earrings and jewelry and armlets and just like very, very flashy and ostentatious. Both with the bright scales of the serpent around their neck with very many scales to show how wealthy they are. And their skirt goes down almost to their calves. And in this city, the longer your skirt, the more important you are, obviously. And they also are wearing this wax cylinder around their neck that is their seal essentially of importance when they have to sign like official documents. But for now, they're kind of like stroking their chin and looking disapprovingly, as this merchant of garments is basically like shoving all of these different skirts and robes and stuff over Lunazal. Um, and Adamu is like, no, 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 no. Teal is not their color. I mean, you look fabulous and everything, darling, but I think more of a violet would bring out the color in your eyes. And basically, this has been going on all morning. There's an upcoming play in the city where all the rich and important people are going to go. And of course, Adamu expects you to accompany them as their companion. And they have to make sure that you look good, obviously. Is Lunazol loving this, or do you hate that this this shopping montage has been going on?
I think this is a necessary evil.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't enjoy it, but I pretend.
And yeah, what do you say in response to that? Or
Uh, uh, yeah, well, uh, uh, oh, but you know I love teal. Um, but perhaps both teal and violet would be a nice combination.
Adamu kind of like sighs a little, and they're like, you know that sometimes people love things that are not necessarily good for them. And one of the servants like shoots a look over to you, but doesn't say anything. But if you must, anything to, you of course, your heart is important to me, and if your heart is set on this garish mix of colors, who am I to refuse you?
Well, you are my sun and my moon, of course. But I'm glad that the sun and the moon can see things as mere mortal mere mortals like I can.
And
And I'll shoot a look at the servant.
yeah. Adamu starts to head over to negotiate with the merchant, over the price of these garments. And, they don't really have to because, again, they have all the money in the world. They can afford all of it, but they enjoy the process of haggling, and they get a little secret thrill out of it and being extra generous, like, oh, it only costs 3 scales, so let me give you four so you can take care of your family and stuff. But the servant who is fitting you leans in and whispers to you. And even though you don't recognize their appearance, you do recognize their voice. This is Kumla, she of 1,000 disguises, and she is a member of the Thieves Guild. And she whispers in your ear, the how long are you going to continue this farce? The masters of the guild are most displeased that you have not robbed this naive fool for everything they have of value in their estate. Most certainly the seal that they carry around their neck. Is this a game that you enjoy playing? What is the meaning of your delay?
Seal will have to wait. He wears it everywhere, even to sleep. But when the play occurs, the house will be less guarded. Um, I can make sure doors are open. I can even draw a map, but the guild needs to show some patience.
I think you're going to have to entice her, because I think this is not the first time that you have said like, yeah, later, later, and this other time when times are more right and they're getting impatient.
Right? Entice, that's a basic move.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
basic move. Unless you have something more appropriate as a thief, which let's check. Masquerade. No, I don't know. Masquerade would be like, I already stole it, and that's a replica around his neck, which you could do if you want. But if you're, I feel like maybe you have some affection for Adamu, or
Yes, yeah. I don't want them stealing from him.
yeah,
At least not yet.
all right,
Um,
then it'll have to be entice.
all right. Right. So what I'll say is once once his seal is stolen, he will he will be suspicious.
Hmm.
Many doors will be closed. And that will not help anyone. Neither me nor you. Um, epithets. I will. Can I use?
It doesn't have to fit perfectly too, I like to line them up, but
Okay. Who walks in shadow? I'm playing both sides.
plus you're kind of talking about, yeah, the during the play there'll be less attention and it'll be easier to infiltrate and stuff. So I can see that.
All right, cool. So that's +2.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Oh, a
A
10,
10.
a glowing success.
Cool.
So on a 10, you attract their interest, gain +1 heart from them, and they choose an option. You think they will, I guess the closest would be betray a world force for your sake. All right. I see some reason what you're saying. I'm going to put myself on the line here and tell the masters that you have a plan. But you understand that I am, if you don't go through with this, it's my head on the line too. Or actually my finger, because the thieves go probably cut off your finger if you don't go through with things. Like it makes you a less effective thief.
Oh, well, that will certainly ruin some of your disguises to be missing. To be so uh just to have such a discernible infirmity.
She kind of smiles for a second and then catches herself. It's like, you may think that you can wrap everyone around your little finger, but we're not all so susceptible to your charms. But you know that's not true. So take a heart over Kumla.
How do you spell her name?
I wrote it down somewhere. Kumlah.
Lahh.
Speaking of people not susceptible to our charms, she kind of motions over her shoulder, and there are near the steps up to and from the upper and lower market districts. Um, there are a group of armed guards, and they seem to be distributing like this papyrus scroll, and they're reading from it. And it has crude drawings of the three of you, and they're kind of like whispering to each other and looking around. And Kumo kind of like pulls you back into the tent. She's like, "You're going to have company soon. I would make yourself scarce."
Oh, so that's a good question. Is it a picture of Lunazal or of Moonlark? Because I have to. I mean, I assume I wear some kind of
I don't know. You tell
veil
me.
or something.
What
I
what were
think.
you wearing when you infiltrated the temple? I suppose.
Oh, yeah. I think I have to wear some kind of disguise when I'm in my thief mode.
Okay. Then yeah, it's a drawing of Moonlark,
Okay.
and
I then I yeah. And I say I know my disguises are not as good as yours, but I I feel confident they won't recognize me.
and she looks over and is like, "Well, let's pray that they don't recognize him." And she's motioning to the incredibly obvious noble, carrying reams and reams of clothing. It's like, "Come, darling, we're going to be late for our dinner engagement. You'll get a chance to try all of these off and show them off, I'm sure."
Of course, I'll be right there. And I, you know,
Okay. Let's take a 5-minute break and then I want to cut back to the others. All right, so see you guys in 5.
Sweet.
Okay. Meanwhile, back in the Serpent's Breath, we see this zealot with the amulet of Ishkur around their neck, which probably looks like some 3 wavy lines of wind. And as they move, it kind of like glows, enhancing their speed. So yeah, they're coming at you, curved knife raised, trying to bring it down to slash at both of you. What do you do? And
Yeah, I
all the
think
patrons have like scattered at this point for sure.
yeah. So yeah, I
Actually, no,
think
sorry. There's two guys in the back who are betting on the outcome of the fight.
okay, yeah. And I think, I kind of describe like almost like swing a sword to meet them without looking. That's because um, I'm also telling them to put like two ducats or whatever the two shells on
Yeah.
me to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will attack this assassin.
Remember, you get
And
another +1 from your on
okay,
watch move.
so I guess I'm using Clash, right, when I attack with Deadly Force, and I think simplifying things with violence. I mean, I think some people would prefer to like find out who sent these assassins or
Mm.
like what their plan is. Is there only one? But I am
Yeah.
just gonna end this. So that is +3. Uh, that is an 11 over
Okay.
the top.
Yes, on an 11, that is a burning success. Your attack gets out of hand. Mark fire. So you have a fire track that goes from 1 to 4. If it ever fills up, another move happens called Defy the Gods. Then deal at least 2 wounds and take wounds as directed. So unless you reduce it, you're going to take at least 1 wound here, just from the assassin like slashing at you. But 2 wounds would murder this person. Yeah, so you pick one from the list above, and then I pick one from the list below.
Okay. I wonder if I could take the object, their kind of holy symbol, this kind of wind amulet. Maybe when I slash them, I reach out my hand to grab it as they
Hmm.
kind of are, you know, uh, pushed back into the pool to fill it with blood.
Yeah, you fought enough zealots to know that they normally will destroy their amulets as they're dying, so you can't have get access to them, or they like vaporize into air, but you're able to like grab it right as they slash at you. You are going to take a wound from this, so pick one of your epithets to wound. And wounding an epithet means that it is temporarily worth -1 until you get it unwounded. Not -1 from the stat, but like -1 total.
Okay. Yeah.
Normally you wound the one that you just used, but you can technically wound anyone.
Yeah. I wonder if does it make fictional sense if I'm taking this holy amulet of a god, I almost feel like I'm almost bound to them in some way, right?
Hmm.
So maybe it makes sense to mark who kneels to no one, because this marks me as an adherent or a worshiper.
Yeah, like you're grabbing it and it burns itself into your skin almost.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
cool. I
yeah.
like that. Unfortunately, you have such a wide swing that I think the pommel swings backward, and Bardoom, you're also going to get wounded as you get knocked in the forehead or base a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because it says you wound one of your friends by misfortune or carelessness. You're probably so eager into like, or even maybe like throw this person into them and it like collides with Bardoom and you go under the
Well,
water for a minute. Do you feel bad about that at all, or do you even
So,
notice it?
yeah, I think I feel bad, and like I reach down into the water and grab Bardoom and pull them back up, um, and I go, well, thanks for grabbing me. I would have been a goner. Well, maybe not a goner. Maybe that's well, thanks anyway. And I'll like pat
uh,
you on the back. Maybe you splutter water out. Um,
sure, but
let's.
next time be more careful with your swinging around. Jeez.
Well, if you hadn't have pulled me closer, maybe that wouldn't have happened. I don't know. I
Listen,
don't
we're
know.
Yeah.
in we're in the serpent's breath. Come on.
So you guys have a choice because you could take a moment to do one of your special heart moves and just clear those two epithets that you wounded.
Hmm.
However, well, first you hear the grumbling of the one guy who lost, and he's like, "Thanks for nothing, Antaka." And then the other person is like, "Thanks a lot, Antaka," as they were taking the shells into them. But outside, you also hear the sounds of like all these guards stomping around, and they're like, they couldn't have gone far. Search all of the tents. Search inside these buildings." So they're actively looking for you and your friends. So what do you do?
What do you think, Bardoom? Should we skedaddle?
Uh, if by skedaddle you mean be nowhere near where they're about to be, yes, I do think that we should do that immediately. If I recall correctly, there is a pathway. Hmm, some of the visitors they like to sneak through to the other side, up up the hill a bit to the fancier springs.
Hmm.
Let's go
Because
that.
if you want to finish your bath, I can definitely hold them off.
What? Oh, well, I should get dressed first. Good point.
Amazing. Um, so it sounds like Bardum, you're proposing that you move discreetly to try to go to where you imagine Lunazal might be.
That is
Um,
my thinking, yes.
in that case, it would be finesse. Um, which yeah, normally I would say you don't have to roll, but I'm gonna say like we'll skip the explorer to find this chamber because you've been in this building enough that you know about all these secret passages. But actually getting to them without being seen probably would require some sort of roll.
Okay.
So yeah,
Uh,
when you want to move carefully or discreetly, manipulating something tricky, stepping silently, or overcoming an obstacle, invoke an epithet and roll.
okay. So I will invoke. Um, who sees the world from a god's perspective?
Oh, and remember to wound one of your epithets, by the way.
Oh, right. Wounded. Does that mean that it goes down one?
It counts as -1 in total,
Oh,
except when you're rolling your miracles. Miracles, you always roll whatever the stat is,
okay. I
and
guess what I
that
mean is on the keeper, should I change it from a +2 to a -1?
nope.
Oh, okay. All right. But that's not the one I'm using, so I'm still okay.
Yeah, the alternative would be if you wanted to like you can either creep along yourself or you could invoke your patron here and say like, how would you direct me here? Whichever option you find most interesting. But it sounds like you were just kind of like sneaking along.
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite at the level of needing
Hmm.
to bother on here about this.
I love those famous last words. Tempting fate here. No,
It's part of the whole thing, isn't it?
no, sure.
Uh, okay. Sorry, I am a little bit lost here.
Be 2d6 plus 1.
Yes, sorry, that wasn't the issue, but I appreciate that. Okay, well, that's not very exciting. I got a 4.
Oh, there's no way to bump that one up.
Nope.
On a miss, you fumble and someone notices. Maybe you work the city watch, or a drop of your sweat wakes up a giant snake. Prepare for the worst. Well, mark XP.
Yeah. So, I mean, busy, the fact that I still was undressed and
Hmm.
needed to get my clothes on
Hmm.
probably didn't help, uh, would be my guess.
I think you guys do, you have this secret entrance and you're making your way what you think is carefully and quietly up into the open market square. Lunazol, you see them emerging from this gap in the wall, and they think they're being extremely stealthy. What it is about their approach where you're like, this is the worst stealth that I've ever seen?
They're leaving a trail of water behind them. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that'll do
Uh,
it. Yeah. So, as they emerge into this square, there's I don't think there would be, well, maybe there's like a wooden whistle that one of the guards has, and they blow into it because we established one of the gods of the city is known for music, right? So, they blow into it and or even in like a wooden flute or something. Intruders, uh, trespassers in the upper market, grab them. And group of five guards is going to start advancing. They have like spears, shields, and a dagger at their hip, and like a wooden cap. I'm sorry, a metal cap, brass cap, that denotes them as city guards. And Taka, you notice in the background, organizing some of these guards is a guard that you're very familiar with. She is Ushigal, the guard captain who you normally before fought side by side with, but the regular guards are approaching first. Lunazal, from your perspective, you see them marching in like this phalanx formation past the tent, but they don't see you. Or if they do, they don't as maybe one of them tips their metal cap to these nobles of the city, and Adamu was like, "Oh, some sort of disturbance. We better had not get involved. I wouldn't wish for you to be harmed." It's good to have a little excitement in our day, however.
I Gosh, uh, I feel like I'm pulling a Clark Kent
Okay.
here,
I'll
Superman,
make
where
it more
I'm not there
complicated.
anymore.
Yeah, he's going to spend a
Okay.
heart over you, and if you don't get involved, you can take an XP. Otherwise, he'll keep the heart, and you can do your Superman thing.
Oh man. So
But your friends would probably know you chose to sit out later, or at least be mad, like, why weren't you around to help us?
right. Uh no, I think I have to try to help. Um
So yeah, it's like you described. He turns and he's like, "Oh no, uh, they must have been abducted by these ruffians." But where are you actually at?
I are there structures that I can be on the roof of?
Of
Perhaps.
course, you're the world's greatest thief. You can be wherever you want. There's probably like these mud brick buildings, that are like big columns and stuff, and you could maybe like Batman across from one to the other.
Cool. Yeah, I could pull up my face mask or whatever, and well, actually I pull it down for I think I have a flute similar to the guards,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna play it with the twofold intention of one, alerting Ataka and Bardum of the guards that are approaching, but also to confuse that phalanx of with like contradicting orders of some sort.
Okay.
What would that be? Let's see.
It probably would be entice unless you can think of a different move here. Yeah, if you were attacking them, I could see that as a setup to a backstab. But if you're just trying to like confuse them, it could even be like, a help later for somebody else.
Cool.
I could
Oh,
also
would it?
see like the fact that you stole this flute and it's a guard flute could be masquerade.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Um,
Maybe
Yeah.
go ahead.
So, uh, if I do it as a masquerade,
We have to
uh,
establish who you stole it from and who you needed to be to allow that person to have you steal it.
right.
Did you did you like seduce a guard? Did you knock them out and take it from them?
Can I just have like pickpocketed it?
Sure.
Or
So
okay,
So in that case, we draw a horizontal line under one of your epithets, and beneath that, write a new epithet describing how much better the person you're pretending to be is than who you truly are. This is a mask. This replaces the real epithet above it and is worth the same. Um,
is that a
so
permanent replacement or
until you clear it, which below it says how you can clear it.
okay?
You can discard mask only when you reach your crisis or as a downtime action. You can replace a wounded mask with a new mask.
Oh, interesting.
So this might be that you're better because you're the kind of person who pickpockets from guards instead of just like knifing them or whatever, or you had the opportunity to just kill them and you decided not to.
Okay, I like that.
So the epithet could be like who shows mercy to the undeserving or something, or who whatever you think is
Yeah.
appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll replace who hands others their misfortune.
And what
Uh,
I did when I was a thief was I just like made like a slash, and then like in parentheses writing in the other one.
okay. Let's see
Okay.
if this works.
So because you do that, you don't have to roll or anything. You have the flute and you do it, and that yeah, from the two of your perspective, Antaka and Bardum, the guards just look very confused. They look back over to their captain and like, did you hear what I thought we were supposed to advance. That's the order for retreat, and they're just looking around and she is like really frustrated with them. And she's like, no, 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 you're supposed to don't let them get away. They are supposed to be brought to the temple. But they can't hear her over the sound of this flute. It's like, what did you say? Like we're supposed to reconvene around the temple? So you have a moment to just slip away if you want to, or reconvene together. And maybe let's do that. Like maybe Lunazal and the two of you make your way to a hidden part of the market, but you still have to figure out some way to get away from these guards or fight through them.
So have we reconnected in physical space? Sure.
I think so. Yeah, like whether that's because Lunazal like drops down or you guys slip into a building nearby. What do you think?
And we like ducked behind like a wine cart, you know, or
Oh,
something like that.
I
We're
love
just
that.
standing
Yeah.
there like regular uh people in the marketplace.
Kneeling down behind a wine cart?
Well, standing there, maybe we're
Mm,
obscured a little bit by the jugs or the
sure,
wine
sure.
cellar,
Could be
Maybe
anybody.
there's an awning or something. I don't know.
I like it. Uh, well, I mean, I would definitely want to uh Lunazal. What they're after us because of you, because of the figurine.
We don't know that. There's many
Oh,
reasons they could
I
be
do.
after us.
No, no, no. On here told me. I know. I saw it. Clear as day. The gods are mad. They are angry. They are furious. And they have sent 3 champions to come after us.
Lunazal, I think.
Now, unfortunately, it's two, as you can see from my slowly dying
Uh,
scar on my palm.
Lunazal, I think you hear a whisper from your pocket, and you hear a voice, and it's like, They just want to take me from you. Don't listen to them. Destroy them first.
Do we hear this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Is this the figurine
Yeah.
or is it? Oh.
What else you got in your pocket?
You have so many stolen artifacts that you're not
It
sure.
could be anything.
Yeah.
Oh. Hush you, or I'll throw you back into to the sea where you will never be found.
Ooh,
Uh,
salty.
It doesn't say anything else for now.
all right. Uh,
We need a plan. They're not going to stop looking for, and they're not
Well,
just looking for you. They're looking for all three of us.
I'm happy to get rid of these city guards.
Yeah, but that won't. That'll only buy us what? A few minutes? Where are these other two? What do they even look like? One is a woman, I think. Not sure.
And in response to that, um, Antaka, you hear Ushagal shouting out into the market, and she says, Antaka, I know you are around. You were spotted recently. As someone who used to fight by your side, as your sister in battle, turn yourself in.
What?
Do not allow others to be killed for your dishonor. Give me this final act of decency. Do you have no honor
So,
in your heart anymore?
How much drama?
so I
Like
think you
calling you
see
out.
Lunazal and Bardum will see Antaka, wind up to make a response, right? So I don't know.
And
Do
I'm
you
gonna smack.
stop me?
Yes, I'm gonna
yes.
smack it. Hush.
I,
They are trying to. They're
I can't.
using emotional trickery. No.
Emo She is a traitor. She is not my sister in battle. She betrayed me. She
Great.
betrayed our vow.
All the
Antaka,
more reason not to answer her.
don't
Well,
know
I will.
if you want an XP, call out. Otherwise, she'll
Yes.
keep your heart.
Okay. Um. Does Lunazal know how to convince Antaka from this foolishness?
Oh, well,
Uh,
traitors do not deserve a response.
Clearly, I didn't smack you hard enough.
Lunasol, you don't have a heart over Antaka, so you
I
couldn't
don't.
offer anything to influence, but you can just offer your words
Yeah,
always.
off my words. Yeah.
And also, I will add that any of you can give each other a heart at any time if you
Hmm.
think that you are inspired by them or attracted to them or just think that they're cool. Um, but it would need to be earned in the fiction.
Yeah. Maybe what I'll say is, Bardoom and Lunazal, you escape that way, and I will go this way and draw them to me. They will not capture me.
What do you mean they will not capture you?
I will
What?
kill them when they put their hands on me,
Oh, I
and I
see.
will shut up Ushigal.
Okay, well, perhaps we should leave you to it. I don't know. I'm tired.
Lunazal, will you promise to take care of Bardoom?
uh,
How sweet.
oh, uh, I'm a babysitter now. Um,
I, I have a heart on Lunazal, right? I give you these
yes,
eyes.
you
Come
do.
on,
Yeah.
like,
Uh,
otherwise I won't be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
I am standing right here.
you can't fight all those guards.
Actually, technically, he could.
Okay.
Just watch me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Listen,
Fine.
hey, listen. If you're in, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but if you are intent upon fighting them, then we should all fight them together.
I don't like that plan either.
Nobody asked you.
Uh, Alex, am I bribing Lunazal by giving them a heart to do what I
If
ask?
you
Is that the way
want
it
them
works?
to like yeah take Bardoom away and either disappear into the shadows or go somewhere and safe, then
Yeah.
yeah you can offer up a heart like a XP.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that and I'll say just figure out what our plan is and I'll meet you later.
All right.
You can refuse.
No, I'll accept.
I refuse, but I suspect I have been outnumbered here.
You could interfere with the move they're about to make to drag you off into the shadows, I guess. But yeah, I think Goon is all. I think you can either do back alleys or ghosts, whichever. But I think back alleys makes the most sense because Ghost says that you disappear and reappear in the same scene. You're trying to get somewhere else.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I mark an XP for the heart.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and Taka spends the heart, and
Okay.
you can take an XP.
Cool. Achilles, you want to navigate certain. Okay, so we'll do Who Walks in Shadows.
Mm. Mhm.
Oh man, that's horrible.
What happened?
Five.
Five. Oh no.
Oh, oh.
You still get to pick one from the first list, but it leaves you at someone's mercy.
All right. Uh, your friends go somewhere your arms can't follow. You and your friends go to a blind spot where your enemies in the city are vulnerable. You and your friends take a shortcut. Yeah, the first one. You and your friends, or in this case, Bardoom, go somewhere enemies can't follow, emerging safely elsewhere.
Okay. Think about who. First of all, take another XP because you do that in mix. You're going to be out of the frying pan and into the fire, so you're going to be away from these guards. They can't find you, but you will end up in someone else's negative clutches. So think about is that a member of the Thieves Guild? Is that someone you pissed off? Just in general in the city, is that this swarming mass of insects we talked about
I think so.
earlier?
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
last one.
All right. Yeah. So we'll set up that scene later, but think about where you go and then be prepared for the worst.
Cool.
Okay. Meanwhile, Antaka, you're just kind of like stepping forth.
Yeah, I think I will take a swig from a jug of wine and say, "Sorry, traitor.
Hmm.
I was busy sampling some wares. I didn't have time to respond to you."
Hmm. And one of the guards like rushes forward. They're like, "Our captain's not a traitor. How dare you say that?" And she's like, "No, no, you're no match for him." Do you want to prove that by just ending the conversation with that one guard?
Um, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess. Um, yeah, I think it's something. I don't even draw my sword,
Yeah.
right? I just smack him
Hmm.
across the head with the amphora,
Hmm.
and we hear the amphora breaks just like his neck, and he is like in the gutter.
Hmm.
Um,
And she's
Thankfully, I finished off the wine because I hate to waste this good stuff.
Ushibal is like, I told you, I tried to tell you. I've seen him fight too many times. Stand back and leave this one to me. And they kind of do step back and make a semicircle with their spears. And she steps forward with her own spear and shield. It's a shame that it's come to this, brother. You could have joined
Chigal,
us.
think about what you're doing. Who has sent you at me like a dog to die? Who benefits from this clash?
You know indeed who sent me. what you do not know. When you received an amnesty from the city, who do you think spoke in your behalf? But you do not know what I had to give up to trade for that. And she pulls down her tunic a little, and you see the mark of Nintu on her neck, like kind of branded the same way the mark of Ishkar is branded in your hand. I had no choice. And fate, it seems, has given neither of us a choice.
Well, if you take one more step forward, you will meet your god firsthand when you cross into the gates of the underworld.
That's pretty badass.
Um, do I convince, I mean, can I convince her to, like, not
What do
do
you
it?
want her to
Or,
do? Like abandon this
uh,
plan?
yeah, I mean, I have no heart in her. She has heart, well, she spent a heart to get me to fight, but, I mean,
You could
I
try
mean, I
to entice
think,
her, appealing to if you're appealing to emotional sensibilities.
yeah, yeah.
You could also like
Um,
really go for broke and beseech a world force, because she is kind of a city authority. Um,
yeah.
and that might end this situation, but it could also like escalate things rapidly too. So
Well, both of those things sound great.
yeah. All right, let's do
You're not,
that.
yeah. Um, and I think, yeah, I mean, I'm saying, you know how this will end with your death and that of all of your soldiers. There aren't enough, there aren't enough in the city guard to whet my thirst for blood.
So metal. Okay.
Um, so I don't know. Does this?
Yeah. Beseech forces under immortal moves on the basic
Uh,
moves at the bottom.
okay, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Um, what epithet do you think this is? Is this? I mean, is this an appeal? I mean, it sounds like I'm not trying to, or I'm warning someone of that there will be violence. So I don't think I can use that. Is this me like? I don't want to kill Ushigal, even if I think she's a
Yeah.
traitor. So maybe this is who keeps their heart vulnerable.
It
Like,
feels
I
like
don't
that
want
to
to
me.
kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, okay.
Fortunately, you don't have any hearts to spend to adjust
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So
So,
it's just a flat roll,
flat
hoping for the
roll.
best.
Let's leave it in the hand of the gods,
Hmm.
those bastards. Oh no, that's a 7. So again, a miss.
I think what happens, we'll take an XP. And then she starts to take a step forward and hesitates and puts her foot back. She's like, "You're right. I can't, I can't do this. I can't bring harm to you for the fellowship that we used to share." But then, like, she screams and falls to her knees as the brand in her neck just like emits this dark aura, and she staggers to her feet with like her eyes roll back and turn like jet black. And out of her, she speaks, but it's not her voice. You wish to meet her god, little warrior? You stand before him now. You mock death? Let us see how you mock death in my kingdom when I have stretched you across the rack until you beg for mercy. And now you're face to face with the avatar of a god, Nintu. And I think her spear is like again just like emanating these black spectral trails. and she advances upon you. And the guards are just like terrified. But let's cut over to your friends. Okay. Lunazal, where do you wind up with Bardum? I have an idea if you can't think of anything.
Yeah, I was thinking like some kind of like a garden, but if you have an idea,
I think you know the one place that people will not go and look for you is the Lost District that we talked about in character creation, whereas the creepy artifact caused it to have all of these emanations and stuff. And anyone would be crazy to go there, right? Um, on first glance, it just appears like a normal garden district of the city, right? You know, there's all these flowers and terraces around people's houses, and but then as soon as you get closer, you notice like emanations of people like ghostly emanations of people like watering the flowers and like children running, but then one of them runs through you and disappears. And it's like memories of what this place used to be like. And then the two of you start to see emanations and memories of yourselves. What is a recent memory that you have that you see as you enter in this space?
what
Or
would be
maybe not even
interesting?
recent, it could have been a long time ago.
All right. Yeah, I think you see Lunazal disguised. I don't know, maybe it's not a disguise as a monk
Mhm.
in a temple, and there's he's reacting to something that you can't see with alarm and fear.
What about Arbor Doom?
Bardoom sees um a child, uh face wet with tears and trying to shout and scream, and no sound is coming out. Um, and this is not actually Bardoom. This is Bardoom's younger brother, something of that nature.
It's pretty clear that this is a cursed place that Lunazal has led you to. How are you feeling in this moment?
Well, the relaxation of the bath is long gone at this point. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
Well, the two of you are about to feel a lot worse
Right.
because Lunazal almost doesn't hear what you said because there's this sound of like this buzzing and chirping from overhead.
Hmm.
And maybe the two of you look up and the entire sky just fills up with these swarms of locusts and scarabs and other nasty flying insects. And they start swirling together. And I think they end up swirling into the form of the musical instrument
Mm.
that
Oh,
Eshig was carrying.
Mm.
And this is a obviously bad sign for you, Bardoon, that this is the revenge of a god directed at you and Lunazal.
Hmm.
As someone who is very spiritually inclined, what do you do? You're probably the first one to react.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do feel like this is very personal. Um, What do I do? I think I drop to my knees and bow my head. Um, and hang on one second.
Yeah, it seems like this is the time to pray.
This is definitely a time. Um, Now I know that this is Ishag?
I feel like, yeah, you're probably
I would
in
recognize.
tuned enough with the gods that you would recognize this sign or
And even if
whatever.
I didn't, on here would probably
Yeah,
have
probably
told
tell you or whatever.
yeah. So yeah, so I yeah, I kneel down, I bow my head and I'm doing all of the usual things I do to get in touch with my patron on here and ask him what to do, ask him to take over even at this
Hmm.
point. I mean, that memory that came over me was
Hmm.
pretty unsettling. I'm not scared of the insects and the scare all that specifically, but I know what it represents.
Hmm.
And, you know, right, Ishag is not fun in games. So I I know that we are in serious trouble.
Are you
Uh
saying you're going to let them take over to unleash their
yes.
wrath? Or are you like, give me some guidance? Because those are two different things.
Yeah, I know. I realized I said two different things.
Okay. No, it's totally fine. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I
Um,
was thinking, yeah, it might it that I was thinking to do the fighting move.
okay. Sounds good. So I think you're holding your staff, which we talked about was carved with all of these
Yep.
stories and stuff, and it
Hmm.
just starts to like light up in various places, and it gives you instructions almost as to how to harness this energy.
Oh,
Um,
uh,
and yeah, maybe it will create some kind of like giant mouth or something to swallow up the
mm-hmm.
insects, like just in a particular story or whatever. If you
Hmm.
roll well enough, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's all very well and good, but let's see. Let's see what happens.
All
Okay.
right. So the way that the
F-
miracles work, you actually invoke your epithet that you wounded, but you, unless you want to wound a different one, and you get to roll by the original amount. So you could still roll a
oh,
+2.
sweet. Well, definitely. I mean, it obviously makes sense to use that first one anyway.
Hmm.
Who seeks to disappear into their patron's voice?
Hmm.
So I am gonna roll +2. Where are we at? There we are. Two. A 10.
Nice. So on a 10, one of your patron's domains erupts from your body in the direction you're facing. Everyone in your path marks one wound. Thankfully, you're pointing up to the air, so you don't wound your friend. What does this look like? I don't think it kills it, but it is going to disperse quite a bit of it.
Yeah. Um, what does it look like? So, yeah, as you said, I have the staff and these stories kind of start to move around and certain keywords kind of highlighting and guiding me to hold the right mental space
Hmm.
as I point this staff at the swirling form of Ishug's creatures. And it's not some fancy leg that shades and zaps them away or anything. It's not like that. But it is oh it if someone, Lunazal might see this where it appears as if the staff sort of extends itself towards that mass and then, as you said, opens up to
Hmm.
you know, um engulf, some part of it, to consume some part of it and take it into itself, and then, like a snake, kind of grabs it and
Hmm.
consumes it. Um, and I think Bardoom kind of crumples back down again
Mm.
after the sort of exertion of this whole experience.
There's no scream or anything, but it does like consume a big chunk of them, and the remainder kind of split into two smaller halves,
Hmm.
and they fly down and they swirl around the two of you.
Hmm.
Less threatening, but still a danger. So I don't think it was in a position to wound you, but you guys are still in a little bit of trouble. Uh, so
Okay.
why don't we take another 5-minute break,
Okay.
and we will figure out what to do with these threats. Okay, see you guys. All right. Speaking of villains, Antaka, you, as this avatar of death, approaches towards you a step at a time. You know that it could box you in completely, and you actually do probably feel, an oppressive pressing from both sides as like your vision narrows a little bit. Um, but it's leaving the path behind you open. So you could just flee here, but it knows that you're not going to. Yeah. Um, it is, well, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, there are no bets being
Mm,
laid on. He
mm,
runs for his life, right?
exactly. You can tell that this is a dangerous opponent. If it even wounds you with that spear, you would probably be in your crisis moment.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't seem that soon. What's her name? Sorry. Um, Ushagal is able to channel the energy of this death god for long, right? It's already kind of like her arm is shaking and the spear is dipping a little bit. You think that you could, with one well-timed blow, either knock her unconscious or kill her, right? So it's just a question of which of you is able to strike first. Are you willing to engage this opponent?
Yeah. I mean, I think, I will, lift my blade and kind of, I'll kiss it and I'll say to this avatar of death, well, I've sent many to you gladly. What will happen when I send death her own avatar?
The time for
Um,
words has ended, mortal. She's gonna come at you
uh,
with a spear. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just gonna like leap, sword raised ridiculously high, not taking not a care in the world. I'm just gonna smash through the shield and yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's see how it goes. This is
So
definitely
there's a
clash.
clash, simplifying things with violence. Saying a trend, yes.
When all you have is a hammer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So +2, yeah. A 10 on the nose.
You describe what happens for sure. I think you are going to take, well, yeah, actually, I mean, if I'm playing by the rules, you would take 2 wounds, but you can mark that down by -1 because the other
Yeah,
options probably
yeah,
don't make a lot of sense.
yeah. Yeah, I think maybe this is after this great smash, and maybe my purpose is really just to take the shield
Hmm.
away because then it's a lot more straightforward with a single sword.
Hmm.
And after that, I kind of maybe I spring back to avoid the kind of inevitable riposte from the
Hmm.
spear. I think without that, this spear would have gone straight into my
Hmm.
chest, and ripped out my heart. But um, not my first rodeo. So yeah, I will take the -1 wound.
Okay.
Um,
I think as you do that, this there's a look of shock and horror on its face as you like knock her back to the ground, and even like the guards are gasping, like they can't believe that you struck this grievous blow against the actual avatar of a god. And even though your fire track is not full, I think that this is humiliating enough for Nintu, that we should roll Defy the Gods here.
Okay.
Because it says when you deal a humiliating blow to a mighty world force by filling your fire track or otherwise, first ask among those present who have three fire marked to choose to stand with you. Unfortunately, no one does meet that criteria. Then roll 2d6 plus your fire, and you can't adjust it. But let's see just how badly you fuck up Nintu with this.
Okay. Um, so is like I'm not by this very act of like humiliating her champion. This is how I'm doing it. Okay,
Yeah, it could permanently wound one of their epithets.
yeah, okay. Well, let me. Wow, an 11.
Yeah. On an 11 plus, you briefly take the place of the world force, wounding them and permanently invalidating one of their epithets. Say how you rise to godlike power, spurning any being's commands. All who stood with you mark with wound for being too near your glory. Yeah. So yeah, let's narrate that first, and
Yeah,
then which world force do we think does Nintu no longer have command over death? Are they no longer able to maintain boundaries? Have do the gates just like shatter all at once? Like what happens here?
yeah. I wonder if um like Nintu's presence in Ushigal is like just driven
Hmm.
out of her, and I think that like I think she doesn't have or Nintu doesn't have a chance to unlock as normal. It's like, hey, you pulled out your USB key without clicking on the menu item.
Yeah,
And I think like Nintu's power to kind of to stop people from entering places they could go or to allow them in is kind of broken by that severance.
sick.
Um,
So I'm gonna cross off their ability to control boundaries, which is gonna cause so many social changes in the city that I'll have to think about. But that's great. That's awesome. The guards are like looking around like what do we do? Um, but how do we see that reflected in Taka?
um, Oh, so
Because
I'm taking over this aspect of Nintu temporarily,
oh no,
at
you're gonna get a
least.
permanent Doom moon.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I
if you want to look over the Doom moves and then think about that, we can cut back to the others.
I mean I have an idea, right? I think there is um something about boundaries and like the severance between life and death. Like maybe the blade has struck on the glyph that was on Ushigal's collarbone, and I think we see this kind of dark energy like happened to her eyes, like
Hmm.
flow up the blade. And I wonder if like the Atlantean blade, right, is um maybe gets a soul that was part of Nintu's power.
I mean, that would
Maybe
really
Nintu
fit
had
with
it.
the weapon of the Ages Doom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm looking at for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
activated in some way, and that's like hungering. I love it.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So the other things that happen, you reset your fire track to 1, you gain a Doom move, and it's at +3. It will overwrite one of your other epithets. Um,
Okay. Um, I so fictionally speaking, is have I killed Ushigal or have I merely driven
no, you get to
Nintu's?
choose what happens to her. I don't want to take that 10 plus away from you, so
Yeah. Um, I mean, I think. I think it makes most sense to replace who kneels to no one
Hmm.
with this, uh, given I'm kind of like directly setting myself against the god when I do this.
So, so it becomes +3, and then you would copy and paste weapon of the who does their weapons bidding over it,
Yeah.
which will be fun.
Yeah. I mean, because I was thinking if I was killing Ushigawa, I think it would make more sense to like that would kind of break my heart a little bit. But yeah, this one makes more sense given that.
Awesome. Like she probably doesn't revive immediately, but you see like flickers of life. And if you were going to carry her out of the square, like nobody would stop you or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the Lost District, like I was describing, there's these like mini swarms of insects just circling around Bardoom and Lunazal. Maybe a few of them get close and try to like bite at you, but you know you're able to drive them back momentarily. But Lunazal, you hear that voice speaking from the artifact again. It's like, now's your chance. You could abandon them and keep me for yourself. No one would ever know. I would not tell.
Interesting. Um, do you prefer Ash Ashag or Nettie?
Why do I need to choose either when I have such a brilliant master who will evade them forever?
Uh, if you would serve me, then disrupt this insectoid assassin. And I'll put I mean is I don't know, can I pull out the figurine and have it do
Hmm.
something? Or is that outside
Um,
my scope of
that sounds like beseeching a force to me, like you're calling on sorceress power beyond your
well,
control. If it works, it'll do it. Yeah.
is that a basic move or is that something
Yes, it is a
else?
basic move under at the very bottom, immortal moves, beseech a force. It's kind of like the legacy of Atlantis, right? Because or even like a pantheon ability.
I want to do that so soon. Uh, Let me just see. What's the worst that can happen? Sometimes
Yeah,
the
what's
force
right?
intervenes.
What's the worst that can happen?
Death
You
and
just get a doom
places.
move or whatever.
Oh,
Roll
does
an
it
11,
result?
apparently, right?
I mean it not immediately, but it did cascade into that for, our other character.
All right. The force appears before you and aids you for a price. The world force demands your allegiance. Give one heart. No, I think about it, but no, this is I'm not going to be a slave to freaking mermaid figurine.
All right, so what do you do instead?
Right. So I put my hand, I touch the figurine, but then I let go of it. I'm gonna lead. I think there's like a yeah, I'm gonna lead the one of the insect figures uh after like lured after me. And I'm gonna go through like a throng of ghosts that are there. Hopefully that will confuse the thing again also. But I'm gonna head under like an awning, and as I pass it and the thing chases me, I'm gonna hit one of the wooden supports so that the awning falls on
Okay.
top of the insects. Yeah.
I think that counts as a backstab, right? You're concealing your intentions. You're like, hey, look over here, uh,
Okay.
but setting it up for an attack.
Cool. Yeah.
So what epithet are we invoking?
uh, one who walks in shadows. Yeah, the ghosts are the shadows in this case.
Okay.
Uh, mm,
I love it.
right?
And 11. No, wait.
Oh no, not yet.
That wasn't you. Sorry. A
12.
12. So I was gonna say that Bardum could adjust it down, but unless they have two hearts, I don't think so. Oh yeah, actually, Bardum could spend all of their hearts to make that a 10, or you
Yeah.
could just take the 12 plus result,
What would you
which would
like?
just mark your fire. You would kill it
Uh
if you did 11 plus, because it has two epithets remaining.
yeah, I'll take the 12.
Okay. So mark fire. You steal something more significant than expected. Text or selling you didn't intend. Take one wounds. We're kind of winding down the episode, so I don't want to put Bardum in a worse situation. I think you steal something more significant than you expected. So you're making your way through these ghosts in order to lead them on a chase. And it works exactly as you intend. Like they go exactly to the place you are wanting to, and you wait, and then like probably slash at a rope, and this awning drops on the insects and breaks them apart beautifully. But as you're standing there admiring your handiwork, one of the ghosts that you pass through swoops into your body.
Mm.
What does it feel like to be carrying a passenger? Like you're going to be semi-possessed here. I think you'll probably take a wound as well.
Uh yeah, it feels like I'm too crowded inside. And yeah, and I think it's maybe it's as equally confused. So there's like a conversation happening in my head.
Oh, great.
Um,
Another voice in your head.
yeah.
Yeah, so Barton, you see your friend like really struggling. Are you like talking to yourself or something, or like just
Yeah, I reel and like I lean against the wall, like kind of slumping. Um, and yeah, I think I'm talking like my mouth is moving twice as fast with two voices um, being spoken.
Mhm.
Am I hearing both of those voices or just you?
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
think you are. Yeah.
oh no. Uh, yeah, I mean, I obviously am going to go over to Unizal, but I don't know that I'm gonna know what to do either. Um, I think we should probably get out of here at this
Mhm.
point.
Okay.
You could probably purify him, but yeah, it might be better to do that in a space that's not like in the middle of this
Exactly. Yeah.
ghost infested district.
Right.
So where would you all reconvene? Like, you know, because presumably Antaka would have known where to meet up with you afterwards.
Yes.
Like, do you have a safe hideout, maybe among the secret community you know about, the people who remember those the city has erased from history? Like, do they have a hideout somewhere?
I think they have a couple, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I had an idea for next time because I mentioned that there's going to be this play. And I think that the playwright storyteller people are kind of like secret anarchists in that
Mm,
they're like spreading these stories through the plays in ways that they're not allowed to. Because we talked about like, you know, how the history is kind of controlled and everything.
yeah,
So maybe the playwrights are keeping you guys safe.
love it.
So yeah, there's this big collection of tents, and one of the playwrights who Sarabi, who is a performer,
So
she's
Bobby.
like, "You all can rest now. We'll watch over you and make sure that no one comes. Um, Everything is crazy right now. The guards are all over the city. They're looking for these fugitives. No one knows where to go, but also all paths seem open to us now. It's very strange." Like nobody is
So,
respecting the division between these places where you're supposed to go and not go anymore right now.
yes.
Like nobles are fleeing through the poor districts, and poor people are just hanging out in the noble squares. Cats and dogs are living together.
Um, yeah, and I'll clear my throat from the back. You know,
Yeah.
Nintu stood against me, but I
and
sent them packing
for how long?
till they catch their breath.
Fair enough. That'll give
Robbie
us
like
some time.
yes, Robbie raises an eyebrow, and that's a story I'm gonna have to hear.
Just, yep.
I feel like their power over boundaries and gates might take a while to come back.
You have done us a
Bro?
great blessing. Yes. But I think we see like in the background, like Ushigal is spread out on a cot, and so is Lunazal, and they're both like shivering and feverish,
Mm.
and really pale. We've been
Uh, do you want me to try doing the purity now? No.
You
That's
can, yeah,
I can?
yeah, because I think Sarabi is like we've been caring for your friends as best as we can, but we're no doctors. Bardum, you if there's anything you can do for them.
I will I will try. I will do the best. Me, honestly, I will need to lean on my patron for support in this. Um,
What
and
what
so
does that look like, do you think? Like, is there a ritualistic thing that you do, or you're just like praying over them?
I have a bracelet that's like wrapped around 3 times. I will take it off and wrap it instead around Lunasol's hand, so hands, and then it's around like that. Just and then place it here, my hands on top of Lunazol's, and just trying to breathe with them, while also sort of chanting, um, uh, both to and with on here, but also more generally, because it's not just about Lunazol. It's also honestly, it's I mean, obviously I can't protect everyone,
Hmm.
but there is this great world force that has been one
Hmm.
has been defeated, and of course is not dead, but it has been defeated, and certainly, you know, what that means for our safety is a bit uncertain.
Hmm.
It gives us some breathing room, but not necessarily safety, right? And
I
so
think
that, yeah,
Sarabi and some of the other performers
yeah.
like put their hands on your shoulders and grab your
Mm,
hands, and they're joining you in communion with your God.
yes.
And I think one of them, Antaka, reaches out, like, will you pray with us for your friends? If you do, you can clear all of your wounds because this is doing
Yeah,
a
yeah,
communion.
and like
Yes.
pray. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure anyone is taking my calls right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, I'll put down the cup of wine or whatever
Hmm.
and join hands. I'm not, and like I think it's like everyone else is like does this exactly so, and I'm like, which way do I hold my hands? Like,
Yeah.
this is something like a moment of vulnerability that maybe Antaka doesn't usually open themselves up to, right?
Okay.
mm,
And you can give a heart to either Bardoom or their patron.
mm,
I mean, yeah, I think I'll re give it back to Bardu. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that makes sense.
aw,
Lunazal, you're kind of like watching this scene from on high in like a dream space. And on here is sitting next to you. and they're kind of like I think they're wearing some kind of like storytelling spirit mask or whatever, and just kind of sitting, cross-legged. It's like
Mm-hmm.
your friends have a lot of love for you.
Is Anya talking to Lumisol?
Yes,
All right.
this is not the same first time that they visited you in a dream, like from your relationship questions. So
mm,
how do you feel about that?
lo- uh,
You
that
wouldn't
is,
be, well, go ahead.
uh, your friends have a lot of love for you. I say, uh, yeah, uh, love is a weakness.
Oh, come now. You don't actually believe that. I know you're playing a part of the thief with a guarded soul, but you wouldn't be the first thief in the stories who gave their heart willingly to another. I, for one, am curious to see how your story will end.
I'm not, I'm not one of your stories.
You can choose to believe that if you want. So, I mean, it sounds like you're not joining in the communion.
Uh, I mean, I guess I should technically. Uh, I say, I know Bardum follows you, but I cannot give my trust to someone who's hiding behind that mask. My trust is reserved for my friends.
And here kind of looks down at your own mask.
Right?
It's something you should ponder then, given your choices of apparel. But suit yourself. I will not hold my healing from you just because you hide yourself away. So I don't think we need to roll here,
Okay.
because you have, there's no danger or anything of this not working.
Yeah.
But I like that we end on this little scene of you and all your friends praying to help your other friend, and when it's all gradually you come back to consciousness, and so does Ushagal, and probably very confused about where you are. But for once, you're actually surrounded around by people who care about you and love you and are in a safe place. So,
Amazing. I love
and
it.
the Pantheon somewhere above are just furious again,
Yeah.
because they've wound up in even a worse state than they started. And maybe Nettie even shows up to like lecture them. It's like, see where your plotting gets you. You should have just invited me in this council to begin with. Okay. Let's go ahead and do end of session questions, and then we can do stars and wishes. We don't really have enough time for downtime, so we can start with that next time, basically. I didn't actually think we'd get through the whole adventure today, but I think it went really well. So, I even like casing and stuff. So, all right. So, looking at your characters, if you scroll down to below your relationship questions, there's something that says end of session questions. So, we'll go left to right. Rod for Lunazol, you mark XP for each question that you answer yes. Did you steal something valuable?
Oh, uh, let me think. I
I'd say the
stole a,
guard whistle was pretty valuable.
yeah. Okay,
That helped your friends avoid getting captured.
cool.
Did you fool someone to trusting you?
Feel someone's trusting me. Uh, uh, Kumla?
Yeah, particularly if you have no intention of actually helping them steal stuff from Adamu.
Mhm.
Did you escape the consequences of your actions?
Yeah, because Bardoom healed me.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, so take X 3 XP. If that brings you to an advance, you can take it immediately. Um, Either taking a new
Oh,
move,
yes.
adding +1 to an epithet, or asking someone a different PC for a new epithet.
Okay, cool.
So, if you know what you're going to do now, you can go ahead and take it. Otherwise, you can think about it, off
Yeah,
screen or whatever.
I'll think about it. Yeah.
Just so you know, if you add a new epithet, it actually adds on, so you would get a fourth one at +0. The benefit of that is when you take a Doom move, you have to replace one of your current epithets, and once you run out of, once you have all Doom moves, you are no longer a PC, right? You're an
Oh,
NPC. So that lets you play your character for a little bit longer. But the other thief moves are really cool too. So, all right. So next,
cool.
Nantaka, did you express pure, unrestrained emotion?
Um, I mean, there was a lot of, umbrage and kind of chaotic emotion going on.
You did a lot of boasting
Um,
too. I'll let you take it. It's fine.
yeah. Okay.
You certainly left wreckage in your wake.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
take that one. Did you keep your friends safe from danger? You told them
I
to
mean,
go away, so
yeah,
that you
yeah. I
could.
said you go that way, and I'll take
Yeah,
care of these.
100%.
Yeah,
Slightly self-serving, but yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I guess.
All right, so take 3 XP as well.
Okay.
And then finally, Bardoom,
Mm,
um, did you demonstrate your patron's power?
100% yes.
Did your
Not
bond with your patron distance you from others?
um if you count Lunazol's reaction, then I would say yes, definitely. But otherwise I'm not sure.
Rod, do you count that?
Yeah, I think so because yeah, I mean, it impressed upon me that there's other force
Hmm.
acting that I don't fully trust.
Exactly.
And you certainly communicated with otherworldly forces. So,
Yes. It's
also
just
take 3 XP. So,
sweet. Thank you.
a lot happened this session, which is great. I think we really hit the ground running. I think we hit the themes of sword and sorcery really
Yeah.
hard. I love these characters and their relationships with each other. I love that the very first session we literally defied a god and permanently, marked one of their domains. I've never had that happen before. That's really super cool. Yeah, and looking forward to the fallout of this. And obviously looking forward to having Kim back and seeing how Kira responds to everything that happened. So yeah, this is great fun. Thank you guys so much for playing and definitely looking forward to next time. So
Thank you, Alex. This has been great.
hmm,
You guys, I love this.
hmm.
Even seeing Nintu's boundaries column struck through is wow, chef's kiss. Love it. Good stuff.
Do you want to do stars and wishes? Because you already mentioned one or
Oh, yes. Sorry. That I guess I
no.
was just automatically doing it, right? I could do yes, I could do it more intentionally here. Yes, so stars, let's see. Donna, I'm giving you stars for the sort of how I want to say a bit brash kind of bold moves that Antaka was taking. It was nice to see sort of a more fullness of that character and how they would respond to being challenged. So, and obviously rolling the way you did definitely was fun to watch. And Rod, I similarly I like how you're really sticking to Lunazol, um well, first of all, there's the Lunazal Moonlark. I'm really excited to see how you develop that. But I really appreciated your response to on here. You're like, okay, yeah, I hear you, but that's not necessarily working for me. I don't necessarily trust you. That was, I like that. So that was pretty good. And Alex, obviously, I appreciate the space that you're holding for us. Continue to enjoy how you give us plenty of room to make decisions, whether they're good or bad. Yep. So, wishes? Do I have any wishes? I don't think so.
And again, if you think of something off screen, like a scene you'd like to see next time, or the NPC you'd like to engage with, or whatever, just let me know.
Um, yeah, I mean, it is like an amazing aspect of Sword and Sorcery that these three characters who are all like so different, like all belong, and are all like pushing the boundaries of common sense. If it applies. Um, yeah, and I liked Space how like Bardoom is like not really surprised by anything Antaka does, but taking it in their stride, and you're also having like some, of course you don't do that. Like let's do this other thing, and I guess are we slowly kind of developing this relationship that our two characters have, like this history of the way they act together, at least. And yeah, Rod, Lunazal was very very cool, and also like I'm just keeping my head down here, working my mark, or are they a mark? And then at the end, like saying, "Of course, no, I'm not opening my heart to these people," and that is like so sad. But yeah, I guess we'll have to break through. Maybe that's a wish. How long will it take us to break through Lunazal's defenses? Um, and I think to echo what Space said, Alex, you like made so much room for our wild ideas, and yeah, set us up for a really good time. So yeah, great stuff. And wishes wise, I guess hopefully Kim can rejoin us next week, and we can see like I don't know. You were saying I can't leave you alone for 1 minute, or whatever it is. And yeah, let's see the repercussions of our terrible actions. I mean, I didn't start it, right? That's all I'll say.
Yeah, thank you, Alex, for um, Star for just like making this setting really come alive and giving us so much to interact with. And just yeah, just making the world feel like a presence that that's pushing back on us and prompting us and all that. Um, yeah, yeah, and then just like some of the choices, like having Ushigal get becoming an avatar, and uh, yeah, just giving us a lot to play with is was really great. Space. I love the that little glimpse we got with Bardoom's brother in the Lost District. I'm curious to see where that part of your backstory and what that meant. Um, and then calling upon Anir and um, your and Alex's description of the staff with the card with the stories is just a lot was a lot of fun. And yeah, just watching your relationship with this other worldly force, and why would we trust that over when we don't trust any of the other gods is something I'd like to explore. Um, Donna, the fighting with the guards was fun. Uh, your interaction with Bardu, both of you, just that relationship was kind of dynamic, was kind of fun. Um, and then you and Alex with Ushigal. kind of pleading with you, and you being very being, just very, I don't know, not backing down at all. When yeah, not reacting to the emotional appeal of Ushigal in a way that I was expecting. Was a lot of fun to watch. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of our characters, more of our character interactions. A wish would be to see what this play is, and hopefully and see how it all goes wrong, or what what happens when we're there. So thanks.
I forgot one other story I didn't mention. All of your descriptions of the gods were just like super good. I loved each, all of them, and I also hated them, but in a good way. So, great job on that. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording, and we'll just plan for next time. So.